This video is sponsored by Surfshark. Let me tell you something, there's only two ways you know you're watching a British YouTuber. One, of course, is the dodgy accent, and two, the British weather, of course. But the Maserati is looking so good, rain or shine, but it does seem like we're getting a lot of water in that headlight, but that's not on today's agenda. This is today's agenda. So let's pick back up where we left off from, and that was with me buying a BMW M3 front end for my BMW M4. Well, some of you thought this was a stupid idea and laughed at me when I went to fit the wings and they didn't fit, and when I went to turn on the headlights and they didn't work. Well, it's not all that bad because the radiator pack fitted, the bumper fitted, the bonnet fitted, and thanks to some help and advice from you guys, I seem to think that maybe we can get away with the headlights working if they were just coded to the car, or we use the ballast from the old headlights and fit them to the new headlights. Well, unfortunately for me, these are the old headlights, and here is a ballast here which we could use on the new ones, and well, this side, well, it's non-existent. But it would be interesting to try that old ballast in the new headlights just to see if it'll work. So let's just give it a go. Okay, so it seems like the joke is on me. Check this out. Okay, so this is the new headlight that's on the car, and this is the one that's came off it. They are completely different. Like, you can't even take that off and put that on because, well, it's completely different. And one thing that I have noticed is on here, on the actual connector, there is only actually 6 pins connecting in there, and on this one there is 8, and they're all in completely different places. But I'm not going to lose faith just yet because I've just spoke to a BMW guy, and he seems to think that it can be repinned and coded to the car. So fingers crossed that actually works. It turns out the headlights that I've got are off a 2018 model and mine's a 2016 model, and they're slightly different. Maybe like a facelift, I don't know. Anyway, on to the next thing. Side skirt. And this was a pretty good bargain off eBay. I think it was around 80 quid. And before you say anything, no, it wasn't off an M3. This is actually off an M4, so it should go straight on. Let's do it. Just realised, before you put the side skirts on, you have to take them off to put the wings on, and I've got new wings, so let's crack on with that. So fitting the wings is pretty easy, or fenders if you're American, and if you check this out, on eBay, 2 used wings are £650. Yes, they are painted, but I managed to get mine direct from BMW. Yes, they are unpainted, but for £600, I think that's a win. Then, all that was left to do was clip the side skirt back in and was finished on this side. But obviously the wing is sort of a satin black, which is making me think, should we satin black the whole car? I don't know, let me know in the comment section below. There is still a pretty big gap between the bonnet and the wing, but we're not going to worry about that too yet because we've got this side to get on with. But before we get on with that side, and also the airbags as well, I can see someone who's dying to say something.
Oh, thanks, Matt. Let me ask you one question. Are you using Surfshark when connected to public Wi-Fi?
Yes, of course I do.
Oh, well, that's a huge relief for me because they have sponsored today's video.
That's right, they have. And if you don't know what Surfshark is by now, well, it's a VPN tool, which stands for Virtual Private Network. That means it encrypts all the data sent via the internet, so no one can steal your passwords, steal your videos, view your private messages, or see what you're doing online. My YouTube channel is my job. It is what I do every single day, and I would hate for someone to hack it because I wasn't being careful when using public Wi-Fi. See, public Wi-Fi is a gold mine for hackers, but if you're using Surfshark, then you're protected. And it doesn't stop there. Check this out. So you're on Netflix, and let's say you want to watch The Dark Knight, but it's not available in the UK. So I go to the top right-hand corner to Surfshark, change my browsing location to Australia, go back onto Netflix, we're now browsing in Australia, search The Dark Knight, and hello, there it is, available to watch. So to get Surfshark today, click the link in the description box below, use code MattArmstrong, and you're going to get yourself 83% off plus an extra 3 months for free. Thanks, Surfshark. Right, there's one last thing we need to do to the front end. The front bumper. So obviously when I bought the car, it never had a front bumper on it. So I was missing all the nuts and bolts that actually held the bumper to the car. So I had to order them directly from BMW. Again, not too expensive. Then it was just the risk of whether the M3 bumper would fit nicely against the M4 wings. And it looks like it did. Yes, we finally have a full front end on the BMW M4. Yes, it's an M3 bumper and an M3 bonnet, but they are exactly the same. I've looked, they are literally exactly the same. And they clearly fit quite nicely. The M3 bonnet and the M3 bumper fit nicely with the genuine M4 wings. We still got a bit of lining up to do. That gap is a bit too big for my liking, but we're looking good and it finally feels as if we're getting somewhere. There you go, Kevin. Now we do have engine oil and we do have coolant in there, and we have some gearbox oil that is supposedly meant to be 9 litres of gearbox oil, which is supposed to go in the M4. In the last video we probably got about 4 litres in before it started to fall out. Now that is because there's a weird procedure you have to do to fill the gearbox oil. Okay, so here we go, gearbox fluid refill time. We did get about 3 or 4 litres in it last time, but like the coolant, there's a weird procedure. And thanks to one of you guys who left a comment, I now know how to do it. So let's do it. Okay, so first step before anything was to loosen the fill plug on the left-hand side of the gearbox. If no fluid comes out of it, then it's simple. All we've got to do is pump new fluid in until it starts coming out. Once the fluid starts coming out, we put the fill plug back in, run the car and go through the gears to warm the gearbox oil up and get it going throughout the system. You're meant to have a diagnostic tool plugged into this to see the temperature of the oil, but I didn't have one, so I just kept pumping the oil in until eventually the whole 9 litres was gone. Yes! And that is done. On to the next thing. Now this is the part that I haven't been looking forward to, and that is, well, the airbags. So obviously we've got the steering wheel airbag, which is quite an easy and simple change, but then the passenger airbag, which requires a full dashboard change. And we also have the curtain airbags. Now the seat belts normally lock out in a crash, which stops you from using them again, but these still work for some reason. Not quite sure. And the same with the passenger side. So we've got to replace the whole dashboard. Now the dashboard on this M4 comp is actually a pretty good spec. It's a full leather dashboard, which is actually an optional extra from BMW when you buy the car. And also it has heads-up display. So when you're driving along, you can see your speed limit appear on the road, which again, is also going to be expensive to replace. Now I've been waiting for centuries to find a leather dashboard with heads-up display, which goes here, for a BMW M4 comp. So we've ended up with just the normal dashboard. Kind of a downgrade, I know, but beggars can't be choosers. We've got the full airbag kit with the steering wheel airbag, the seat belts, the curtain airbags, and the dashboard for 1,100 quid, which is a pretty fair price. And all that's left to do now is whip that one out and change it for the new one. If only it was easy as that. The only dashboard that I've ever replaced was on that Volkswagen Golf R, and the way this car's going makes me think that this isn't going to be as simple as the Golf. Enough talking, let's do it. So as we've learned previously with the Golf, the best first step is to just completely remove the front seats. We're going to be spending a couple of hours in this car now, and we want to be able to move around it freely and get around the dashboard as easily as possible. First step was the steering wheel airbag. Easily enough came out. Then the steering wheel. Then this is where the serious business starts. Time to unscrew any bolt or nut I can see holding the dashboard to the frame of the car. And believe me, there was a lot. I quickly found out that the dashboard was never going to come out unless I removed the center console, or at least pulled it back a few inches. More electrical connections to be removed, and a few more electrical connections to be removed. Of course, the glove box had to come out, and also all the indicator stalks that are on the steering wheel had to come off the steering column, just so I could remove the dashboard over the top of it. But I think I'd just about undone every nut and bolt I could find and electrical connector, and I could start to wiggle it out and get it free. Look at the state of that. And if you've made it this far in the video and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button below. I'm sure it'll give you 10 years of good luck. But now it's time to get the new dash back in. hours of twisting, moving and plugging electrical connectors in, I felt like I was getting somewhere. Before finally completing and getting to the grand finale of a whole new dashboard in, getting the dash is finally in. I think it seems more intimidating than it actually is. Best thing to do is literally just put aside like half a day or a day where you're not going to get distracted, strip the thing out, and once it's fresh in your mind, get the new one back in. And even though it's sort of like a downgraded dash, it's not got the leather on the top, it still looks pretty good. We've still got the leather glove box and all the leather surroundings and the carbon and everything as well, so it doesn't look too bad. But Matt, hold on there. Why don't you tell everyone how many bolts you had left over from putting that dashboard in? None. I've got none. No. Tell the truth. Okay. I've got 10 bolts left over. I honestly had no idea where these went, and I don't know how I've ended up with 10 bolts. But I assure you the dash is in and it ain't coming out. But we can't really celebrate too much yet because we still don't know whether I've fitted it properly yet. We don't know if everything works. And to find out whether everything works, have to start it. The battery isn't connected yet. And that is because still have a curtain airbag to fit. So I might as well crack on and get this curtain airbag fitted. Then we can connect the battery up and see whether I've fitted the dash properly, because I tell you one thing, I do not want to take that back out again. The curtain airbags in the M4 seem to just go in the same way the Golf's curtain airbags went in. They were just on some really annoying clips. And here's the new curtain airbag, which just pops back in with some new clips. Time for the seats to go back in. Then before I could connect the battery back up to the car, I had this new sort of battery connector thing, which actually explodes when the airbags go off in the car, which activates the kill switch. I've been bypassing it up to now, but we can fit that to the battery and get it all connected back up to the car. Right, battery's connected, airbags are all in. We're about to find out whether I've done this right or not. Oh my God, please let everything work, come on. Okay, good start, the screen's working. That's working. This is working. We still have a fault for the restraint system. Wipers have come on for some reason. Why are the wipers coming on? The wipers won't stop. Maybe I've not plugged in something here. Yeah, no full beams and no indicators. Oh my God, I've not plugged something in. I don't know what's going on. The wipers just won't stop. I've got no full beam. Does any of this work? Yes, the lights are working. Something in this area is not plugged in. I'm just gonna start it and see if that fixes it. Probably not, I don't know. Let's do it. We are on. The wipers are also on for some reason. So I have nothing on this area. No buttons for this, no buttons for this. But I've not even changed anything. This is the same steering wheel. This seems to work. Right, this third and final time, fingers crossed, should do it. All I've done, I've changed this little switch from the dashboard that I got to my old one from the dashboard. See, I don't know. You know what these BMWs are like. Let's see if it works. If those wipers are still going. Yes, there's no wipers. Full beam. Yes! Come on, it's working. We are looking good. We have made progress now. So, full dashboard is in. We still have no power steering. It comes and goes. My only suspect is that it needs coding to the car, but we've now got two satin black wings, headlights which don't work, a bonnet on, and wings which need to be lined up, and a bumper on as well. It is looking good and we've made some decent progress. Check this out as well, what I found whilst doing the dashboard. It actually has a wireless phone charger. Check it out. Hey! So although it's looking good, we're still a long way from finished. We've got no power steering. That probably needs to be coded. We've still got an airbag light on the dashboard, so maybe I do need to change the seat belts, or probably just a coding issue as well. If you guys know anyone that could rewire and code those headlights, let me know in the comment section below. But it is getting there. So again, guys, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Click that subscribe button to stay up to date with the M4 build, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
Drug that